Hello everyone and welcome to this review of Song of Horror. So, Song of Horror has been a game that has been in development for a long time, and now in June it actually came out on PC, but they have talked about releasing it on consoles as well. It is an episodic game. That means that the game is made up in 5 different episodes. It is very interesting. I like this kind of games because I remember when I played The Walking Dead, I thought it was a very good game, and I waited until the whole game came out, and that was the same I did with this game as well. Song of Horror is unique in its own way, and the reason why I say this is because it has something I have only seen in Resident Evil Outbreak, where you are actually able to choose which kind of hero you want to play as. Now, the different kind of characters has their own skills. So some of them run faster, some of them are tougher, stronger. So there are cases in the game where you have to close doors and stuff because there are monsters trying to get through the door. And if you have a strong character, you can actually push the door a lot faster than if you're not one. But not only does the character has skill points that makes them stronger, they also have personal items that helps them. And I think this is very interesting because it makes the characters kind of unique in their own way. So I would say that the first episode in the game is the best one because you are able to go into a house, and this is the house that Daniel, the first character you play as, the main character of the game, go into because he's going to interview, or I think it was check up on one author that is kind of known, and he has a family there, but they live there, but no one has heard from them. So he kind of go to this house just to kind of check it out and see if everything is fine. And when he comes there, he sees that the house is kind of empty. And not only that, the door to the house is open. So he goes inside and he hears this some music on his ear. He can hear the music, and he goes into the room where there is a letter on the door, and he opens it, and then he hears the music coming from a door. But the thing is that the logic is that it's not supposed to be a door on that wall, because it would just not make any sense. So he opens the door and the music starts to play louder, and then he walks down the stairs, and that is how the story begins, because now everyone is asking where is Daniel. No one has heard from Daniel. So basically the first episode is you choosing your character you want to play as. You can choose to play as Daniel's ex-wife or ex-girlfriend, Sophie. I like Sophie a lot, but you can also choose between his manager Edwin, or you can choose between the electrician that comes to check on the house if the electricity works and stuff. She is basically a security guard. Or you can play as one of the housekeepers for the house, He's kind of an interesting character. I think he's supposed to come from Russia or something. And he has also a wife that is also working at the estate, call it Marsa, I think it was. And he's also wondering, where is Marsha? Where is she? So yeah, it is a unique game in that kind of sense. I have played this game now many times, at least. I have done at least 2 or 3 whole playthroughs because I am trying to speedrun the game on my own. And every time I play, it is almost like there is something new all the time, you know. I don't know how they do it, but I would guess it is random generated. So every playthrough is different, and that is something I really like about the game. To the points that I don't like about the game, and I would say that this game is, and they say it when you start to play, something that I thought was kind of interesting, because I think I have never seen this before. But before you start to play the game, they recommend that you play with an Xbox controller and a headset. I have seen the part with the headset that they advise that you play with a headset, but I've never seen that they actually advise playing with an Xbox controller. The reason, there is a big reason why they do that, because I have tried to play this game with a mouse and keyboard, because I like to use mouse and keyboard on PC, and it is, for me personally, almost impossible. I had to quit playing the game, and I was able to find my Xbox controller and started to play the game, and it is night and light. It is a big difference between each other. But I will also say, from a personal perspective, that the controls in the game is also a little bit janky. I'm not like, I thought it was not very easy to play, if I'm going to be honest. But that comes to another part that I really liked about the game, and that is, if you don't know, I like tank controls, and everyone knows that tank controls can get very hard to play with if you have not get used to it. But this game kind of have that. It has fixed camera angles, and I love fixed camera angles. I think that is why I liked Resident Evil 1, 2 and 3. Fixed camera angles is just like a godsend, because what made Resident Evil what made the Resident Evil game scary for me was that I was not able to see what was around the corner. I feel like in some horror games now I'm not that scared because I can see everything in front of me. If I hear something, I can basically see it. But with fixed camera angles, they can actually hide monsters, they can hide scary things that you will be like, wow, I did not think about that. I think that is very amazing. And that is what this game does very well. It really shows, and I think that is why I think this game is so important to support, is that the game style is, it's almost like they're trying to show that even though it is an old style, it can still look good. And I would say that the graphics in this game is pretty good. I would say that the 3D models of the characters is a little bit, it's not the best, but I think that is a little bit of And I'm not talking about the body and stuff. The body and stuff looks great. It's more like the faces. It almost seems like they have used the same female model for all the characters that are females. And they just have like added a little bit. It almost reminds me of making a Sim characters in The Sims, and you just choose the default face. It's not a very big difference in the characters' faces. Another thing that I did not like, but this one is actually not very fair, if I'm going to be honest. I'm pretty sure it was an indie game. So I would guess that the budget was not big enough to do this kind of things. I know that some people might disagree with this one, but I think that the cutscenes would be so much better if they was 3D animated. Because it almost looks like they are showing the sketchboard and what it was supposed to look like, and then they decided not to animate it because of cost, you know, like they just like show how it was supposed to look like. But when it also comes to the cutscenes, it's kind of interesting because some of the cutscenes you see at the end of episodes is they do have an actually 3D animated cutscene, so I don't know what happened, if it was they had to rush it or what it was. And here comes the other part that I did not like, and again I don't know what happened in there, but it was that when the character speaks, you never see them move their lips. It's almost like playing a PlayStation 1 game again, like Metal Gear Solid, where you just like see they move with their heads to talk, because there are no animation in their faces when they talk. So they have done this good in the game by itself, because what they do is that they kind of like hide, they make the camera so you only see it from one angle, so you can't see they actually talk. But in the animated videos, you can actually see they talk with moving lips. So it seems like that is also something that they did not put into the game. And I know that is being a little bit, it's not fair, because if you don't have the budget for it, you don't. So that's totally understandable. It's just that I thought it could be a better, and I pray so much that they will make a sequel, because I just love this style of game. And if they do, I hope they will do something about that. All the episodes are separate. For each episode you get to new locations. And this is also something that is kind of interesting, is that when you play the game, it almost seems like for each episode they improve with the game. It's almost like they kind of like learn it from what they did in the first one, and they try to make it in the second one. And I would say that the second episode is the best one, other than the first one. And then they tried something totally different in episode 3, where they something that they did not like that much. I wish they would keep on having it so you can use the same character you did in the first episode through all the 5 episodes, but you can't, because in episode 3 you are only able to choose 3 characters, and that is 2 new characters that you will not be able to play as later on, for some reason, I don't know. And they are actually likable characters. I like both of them also. I like all the characters in this game. I think they are very well done. When you come to the second episode, you will find out that there is this enemy that randomly can appear. and every time they appear, you have to do mini game to be able to move on, and that is something that all the episodes has. They have their own mini game. Like, for example, the first episode, you start to learn that you can hide in cabinets, and you go in there and you hold your breath and calm down, because you have a light or whatever. And to do that, you have to do a rhythm game, so you have to press the buttons in the right time. And that one is kind of cool. I like that one. So that is the first mini game you get introduced to. If you decide to play on a harder one, you have to listen, because sometimes you get the icon where you are able to listen to the door, and that means you should do it, because what can behind the door is a monster, and if that monster gets you, you die. And that is another thing about this game, that I think the idea behind it is interesting. I like it. But if you die, it is permadeath. So if you die, the character is gone through the whole game. But the thing that is a little bit annoying is that if you play as a new character, you have not a checkpoint where you start off where the other character died. You have to play the character, and maybe it is because it is more realistic, I guess. But you have to play as the other character and run to the place that the other character died. And then you have to pick up their items, because that is the items you need and able to finish the level. I wish they had a checkpoint system, and they do. Actually, if you play on the easiest difficulty, there is supposed to be a checkpoint, so you don't. The permadeaths are gone. So I think that is they did improve on that. So over to the story of the game. It is an interesting horror story. I do not have anything bad to say about the story by itself. It keeps you want to play it more, and it keeps you want to finish it. And that is what I talked when I played it, is that this is an interesting story, and I really liked the game. I talked that the ending of the game, I'm not going to tell you the ending, was what can I say? I mean, like, so the ending of the game, I'm not going to spoil it, but I will just tell you what I felt when I finished the game. And I was a mix between, like, this is actually pretty good. Like, this is actually ending that makes you think, and I really love endings that makes you think. But at the same time, it felt a little bit like I don't know. I don't know if this is how I really wanted it to end. Yeah, it's okay, you know. It's a okay ending if you are a person that likes to think. And it really reminded me of Silent Hill, if I'm going to be honest. And Silent Hill endings, obviously, is very, very good. But I think it is unfair to compare it to Silent Hill. There is a lot of things in this game that is kind of like almost tribute to those games, like Resident Evil and Silent Hill. You can actually see it. There is actually, and this one is kind of funny, there is actually an Easter egg in the game for episode 2, where you actually find the suit from Walter Sullivan, And if you don't know, Walter Sullivan is one of the evil characters in Silent Hill 4, The Room. They even have, and that is kind of a cool thing, I like that, the difficulties of the game that you can choose is named after famous authors. So I kind of like that. I thought that was kind of creative. And yeah, the thing that I really liked also about this game is the thing that you have to run around and you have to collect items, and it is a lot of backtracking on all of that stuff, but that is stuff I love in games, especially games like this. I thought they did that very well. I also like it, the puzzle in the games. I had to look it up sometimes because I just don't have the patience to try to solve the puzzles on my own, and that is just being honest. I think they are pretty good. They are, you have to do some research to be able to understand them. And if you have the patience and if you wanted to play the old way, you can just do that, you know, and that is kind of cool. But yeah, as I said, I have been speedrunning it. I like it. I like the game style. I like the atmosphere in the game. I like the characters. I really like the option to choose the different kind of characters. I maybe wish it was possible to see a little bit more of the story of the characters, like that maybe they could have their own ending of the game, or if they could have their own kind of like side story where with cutscenes, with stuff like that. Because the characters are fully voice acted and they do say different kind of things depending on which character you play in the game. So that's kind of interesting, and also if you interact with the items, the characters also have different things to say about them, and that is something I really liked, because it is not like they are just like copy paste. They actually have their own thoughts, and they think about things differently. So that is a plus point for me. So, is it a scary game? Well, that really depends on you as a person, I guess. Sometimes when I played, I did not know where the hiding spot was, and if you don't know where the hiding spot is, it can get very, I would say, more frustrating actually, because I was like, if I die now, I have to do everything again. So that thing can be kind of scary, because you want to live and you want to find a hiding spot. So I would recommend, if you play this game, to check around in the rooms and see if there's a table or anything you can like hide under, because if you do that, your character will actually note it down in their on their map, and then you know that this room has a hiding spot, and then you just have to like remember where it was and run to that place and you are safe. So I think that is it. I think I have gone through all the points that I wanted to in the game. Since this is a game that is, as I like it so much that I do, I want to give it a 7 out of 10. And the reason I do that is because I think that what they did with this game was very well done. I think they had the graphics was there, maybe not on the characters, but on the environment. It's very well done. I really love the fixed cameras. I thought it could be scary because you don't know what will happen every single playthrough is random, so you don't know what will happen, and that part I really liked. I also like it that you are able to choose the characters you want to play as. I wish they had more of a backstory and you can see cutscenes with them and stuff. That would be more interesting. I did not like that almost all the cutscenes at the end was drawn. It's almost like it seems like concept art, like this was how it was supposed to look like, and they just kept it and put it in the video. I know that this is the reason why they do this is most likely because of style. They wanted to have that kind of like style in the game, but I wish it was not like that. And the story is also good. It's a story that keeps you want to play through it. You want to play it to the next episode and see what's going to happen. I would really recommend buying the game and trying it. If you are not able to play it on PC, it will come out, if I have understood correct, on consoles as well later on. And the game is not that expensive. I think I paid $50 or something for all the episodes. And if you like horror games that are unique and are interesting, I would really recommend buying it, because you can see that the people that made this game put some effort into it. It's not something that is badly done. It's just that some things are not that good in my opinion, and some stuff is good, but I would say that most of the things are good. That is why I give it a 7 out of 10. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I hope you enjoy this video. I wanted to try something different because I asked it what you wanted to see. If you wanted to see more content related to my personal life, talking about stuff, or if I was going to talk about my games and more game related stuff, or if I'm going to do something between both, that I kind of like mix it and do different kind of things. And I came to the conclusion after I did see that all of the votes, that I'm going to do a mix between both. And I will do game reviews and reviews of stuff, but I will also keep on making videos where I also talk about my life and do the vlogs, you know. Please click the like button, because that will mean a lot. My channel has is just declining in subscribers. I only see red numbers. I'm soon below 1,100 subs. So if you're a new viewer and you want to see more of this content, it will really means a lot if you subscribe to the channel, because it can get a little bit sad to see that my channel just declines. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, everyone, and have a nice day. Bye bye.